Ladies and gentlemen, it's Forrest Galante.
The first TV thing I ever did, this silly survival show where you run around naked and see if you can survive in the jungle.
I just did that in Ibiza for the past 2 weeks.
Literally 24 hours ago, I was sleeping, this is gonna come out wrong, with a giraffe.
Oh.
She was nice though. Those little pygmy hippos, when they grow up, they're probably the meanest animal on planet Earth.
No way.
Every time I'm around these things, they try to kill me.
You went with the Nelk Boys to an uncontacted tribe. They gave them a vape.
Oh, they loved it. Yeah. And the Ambani family contacted me and said, we'd like to invite you to this incredible facility in India. The animals are eating better than I am.
That's insane. 100 humans versus one gorilla. Who's winning?
A gorilla will smash, it'll destroy everything in this room, but then it's gonna gas out.
What if the gorilla trained cardio?
Long story made short, I do this whole song and dance trying to catch the snake, and I'm just about to turn and look this way, and I just feel this thing starts crawling up my neck. And that venom, I think it said like 1 drop has the potency to kill 1,000 people.
Or his like, dude, we got a hard out at 350, which is in 41 minutes, which is not enough amount of time to fully dissect this podcast with this guy right here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Forrest Galante.
Wow.
Woo! That's some hype right there.
Right
I like
into the
it.
fire, buddy. Welcome.
Sorry. Yeah, dude, I told him, I was like, bro, come on, we can show up to Kimmel a little late. And he gave me a look. And now he's telling me the talent arrives when the talent arrives. I like where you
Yeah, but that's what you want. That's what you want.
100%. He's
Yeah.
like a heel.
Yeah.
Like a heel, bro. Dude, how are you?
I'm really good, guys. Thanks for having me. This is fun.
Yeah, of course, man.
Yeah.
Dude, you're active.
Oh, yeah. We move
a lot.
around a lot. I just flew in from Texas right now for this.
I feel like Texas is probably the most tame place that you've...
Well, I was at Colossal, which I heard from Ben you've been to, and yeah, I didn't know there was that connection.
I mean, the connection is just that I've been there.
Yeah, it's something.
But I will say, huge fan of what they're doing.
Yeah, it's cool, huh?
Super intrigued.
Yeah.
Is it really a dire wolf?
I mean, yes, according to the genetics, right? So, I mean, I know there's a lot of controversy. I'm not a geneticist, but it sure looks cool.
Yeah.
Totally. What the hell are you guys talking about? That's sick, man. Sick job, guys.
Just leaving you out right out of the gate, dude. Mike.
Fantastic.
It's the De-Extinction Company. The one that got super famous for basically genetically engineering.
Correct.
This dire wolf.
Exactly.
A species that has been extinct for 10,000
Can they bring back the dodo bird?
They
are.
Oh,
yes,
fucking
they are.
Now, if I can get involved with that project,
Yeah.
I don't care about a dead wolf, whatever it is, but a dodo bird, I would like to be.
The
involved
dire
in that
wolf,
project.
dude,
It's in the pipeline.
allegedly a woolly mammoth, Mikey.
Yep.
That's cool too.
2028 now, they're saying.
What's the big bird? They
The
just
moa,
announced.
the giant ground bird from New Zealand, like 11 feet tall.
Is that
like
does that have a
huge
bigger
ostrich.
wingspan than the
Albatross. No.
the albatross?
No wings.
No wings.
Like the only giant bird in, because even ostriches have like weird little wings. This thing has no wings.
What does it have?
Nothing. It's like with Big Bird from Sesame Street.
No. Hold on a second. Wait a
Can they make
second.
it yellow?
I hope so. They should have make it really cool.
No arms?
No arms.
No
nothing.
arms.
Nothing here.
Like
Wow.
it's just a body with legs?
Yep, and a head and a neck and a head.
Like
Isn't that crazy?
Hamburglar almost. Wait, can I ask you a question? So you have an 8.8 primitive survival rating.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I suppose so.
No, it's crazy because like we have people on all the time and they always have like different like metrics for success. Like
They're in
oh,
like
you
the
have
sixes.
X amount of followers, or like, oh, they scored this many touchdowns in the Super Bowl. You just come on with that 8.8. That's like a big swinging dick around these parts, bro.
That's that's what I say.
Because, dude, like, for example, bro, he's got a dad, like many of us do. And his dad, his name's Greg Paul, and he would consider himself to be somewhat of survivalist, right?
Okay, I like that.
But I mean, dude, if you put him in a room with you, dude, like, or not a room, maybe a forest or like a swamplands or something like that, I can't imagine he'd be more than what do you think Greg would get from on a prime? How do you get that rating?
I mean, first of all, I think we got to just throw Greg out there and see what happens. But yeah, I mean, the first TV thing I ever did, this is going back nearly 10 years ago now, was Naked and Afraid, which is where I got that score, which is this silly survival show where you run around naked and see if you can survive in the jungle for 21 days.
I just did that in Ibiza for the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, but we came back with different diseases.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And everyone was afraid of him.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they were
good
surviving
points.
you.
You
Yeah.
guys got me feeling ostracized again. Good job. Okay, so yeah, go ahead. Sorry, my bad.
No, you're good. So I went down to Panama and I treated it like a vacation. And I don't mean to sound arrogant, but it's it wasn't that difficult. I knew the landscape. I had fun. Yeah. And that's why I got that super high score.
Brother, that's insane. Because let me tell you something. Survival show fanatic.
Oh, yeah?
Survival show fanatic.
No way.
Oh, and I know how hard it is for most people.
Yeah.
You're saying it wasn't that hard.
I literally treated it like a vacation.
Did you
it was easier than work.
That's insane.
Did you get lucky though? Like, let me ask you that question. Like, you say you knew the landscape, so like you obviously have some understanding of Panama, how it works. Like, if they had put you into like Siberia, would you have scored as high?
No, definitely not. I did get lucky. I mean, I've spent a lot of time in the tropics. I found old journals from when they were building the Panama Canal, and the military put out survival guides for the people building the Panama Canal, and read those old journals. It's interesting because I'm a biologist, right? So that's what I do is I study wildlife biology. And I picked up these journals and I just studied what are the common fruits, vegetables, animals, things like that. And I'd been to Panama before and I knew the jungle a little bit. And then in addition to that, I got put on the coast and I'm pretty good in the water. I do a lot of diving and spearfishing and stuff. So those two things just made it like a kind of a tropical vacation. And I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't hard. It was still hard, but it wasn't, you know, the breakdown, crying, I'm miserable, I want to go home. I had none of that.
Like everyone else on the show.
Exactly.
And every other survival show.
And what every producer there told me to do. They're like, you got to cry, you got to be upset, you got to fight for your life. I'm like, why?
I'm chilling.
I was like, I got 30 pounds of potatoes back at the hut. I'm chilling. Like, I'm good.
Well, okay, but what about, I have to ask, the being naked part.
Yeah.
Pretty out there, no? I mean, especially with the wiener.
I mean, not when it's not very big like mine, but no, I mean,
humble too, bro. He's a humble king.
It just, you know, you're over it in 10 minutes. It's like, yeah, you're naked. You see this girl, she's naked, and then you're like, right, we got shit to do. You know, we got a shelter to build, food to find, that kind of thing.
Totally inappropriate question, and I'm prefacing with.
No, it's good.
Was there any sexual tension? I have to ask because sometimes people we watch these shows.
It's a good question.
Like,
it's a good question.
Is there any? If there's chemistry, like how does that work?
For her, definitely not. Yeah. So we could leave it at that. But no, I mean, look, she was a pretty girl. She just didn't have the nicest personality, or we weren't very compatible. So that nipped it in the bud pretty quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I could overlook that easy, dude.
Yeah, for one night, for sure. But when you're stuck with them with nobody else to talk to for 21 days. It gets pretty old.
Why have they, and maybe they have, forgive me producers if you have done this, but why haven't they done like like an all-stars one where they bring back like the highest scoring?
They have. They've asked me a bazillion times.
Go fuck myself.
No, I'm just sorry, I didn't mean it like that. But they've asked me a lot of times to do it, but I went from that. I never really wanted to do survival. It's not my thing. I'm good at it. I practice it, but I like the wildlife stuff and the animal communication stuff. So I started my own production company off of that and then rolled it into, the Shark Weeks and the Extinct or Alive and all the TV shows and social media and stuff that I do now.
So you're like, you've kind of grown out of it a little bit.
Definitely.
You wouldn't do alone?
No, I don't really see any purpose to.
The money? It's like $500,000 if you win.
I like what I'm doing. I'd rather, to me, the money's not the most important thing. I'd rather do what I'm doing, which is communicate like this passion for wildlife and animals more than just spend time surviving and being miserable.
Yeah. Well, that's a whole thing. I mean, like truly, when I sat down, I said like to pretend we're gonna do this all in 40 minutes is actually shameful. I like what you do is so rich.
Oh, thank you.
You have such an insane career. And I hate this question when people ask it to me, but I'm gonna ask it to you.
Okay.
How would you even describe yourself?
Yeah, I struggle with that too. I mean, I like to humbly just say I'm a wildlife biologist, but I think really on a bigger scale, what I am is like a wildlife communicator. You know what I mean? Like I color lions and move elephants and find extinct species and work on ecosystem restoration and consult for colossal biosciences.
Yep.
Work with this incredible facility in India that our friends the Nelk Boys came to.
Yep.
And I do all these various things and put it all together somehow to make a living. But at the core of everything I do is just trying to teach people about wildlife and the outdoors.
Bro,
that connects people to it.
For sure. Incredibly noble pursuit.
Oh,
I feel like not a lot of people are.
And it's fun as shit. That's the thing too. Like I live my dream every day. I'm very, very fortunate in that regard. I get to travel around the world, work with the most incredible speed. Literally 24 hours ago, I was sleeping, this is going to come out wrong, with a giraffe. Yeah.
Whoa, brother. Can't say 2025, man.
Yeah. Yeah. She was nice though. No, I'm just kidding.
Where the hell is
Nicer
this?
than the Naked and Afraid lady, it sounds like.
Yeah, much. No, I was at a place in Texas called Oak Meadow Ranch that's like this Like you like hang out. It's like an Airbnb with animals everywhere, but it's really cool, really noble cause and stuff. And I was there looking at their cheetah habitat that they're building and stuff like that. So it's like I get to do really, really cool and fun stuff. So I'm very lucky.
We were at Ventara
Oh, that's right.
like
yeah.
a month before you guys.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Insane facility, the Ambani family in India.
Yeah. Did you like it?
I mean, yeah.
Mind blowing.
No,
right?
it's unbelievable. It made me realize like there's levels to this shit.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I try and describe it to people, and I'm definitely going to get in trouble here, but it like, just because of the size and the scope and the scale of it, it makes like the San Diego Zoo, the Singapore Zoo, these incredible prestigious zoos look like a roadside attraction.
It's insane.
Yeah, the size and scale, I mean.
And it's built with so much taste.
Right.
It has so much like elegance to it as you're walking around. It's insane. How did you get them to allow you to film and then post a video?
Yes. So as you know, they're very like strict and secretive about it all. So I actually, I didn't even know anything about it other than whisperings from various zoo people and things like that. And then the Ambani family contacted me and said, we'd like to invite you. And I went, probably similar to what happened to you, I imagine. And I just went and walked around it. And then I had a meeting with Anat, and he said, you know, what do you think?
Yeah.
I don't know if you met with him, but
He wasn't there when.
Unfortunate.
I got to speak with him on the phone, and he
super cool guy.
Yeah.
But he just said to me, like, he's like, you know, you work in conservation and animals. What do you think? And I was very blunt. I was like, here are the things that are wonderful. Here are the things that could use improvement, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, okay, what else do you think? And I was like, well, if you want me to be honest, I know you've never allowed cameras in here, but I think the world should see this. It's such an incredible place. It's so noble. It's so beautiful. You're doing such an amazing thing for wildlife and for conservation. You're literally writing the playbook on how to manage animals in captivity moving forward into the future. And he's like, okay, do it. And I was like, wait, what?
Wow.
He's like, if you want to bring your team and film and put it out there, you know, run it by my team. But if you want to do it, do it.
Wow.
He's like, I know who you are. I know the kind of stories you tell. He's like, if you want to do it, do it. No holds bar. Tell any story you want. Go for it. And we did, and it was awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
The level of care they take of their animals is like nicer than I feel like some humans live, and I mean that.
Oh yeah, it's unparalleled.
Dude, I can't
Unparalleled. They eat better. I mean, when I'm there, and this is not a diss on them, but the animals are eating better than I am.
No, seriously,
It's incredible.
I seen
All
this,
organic.
I seen this elephant getting like washed by like
Yeah.
4 people at one time. Elephant just on his side, like
The massages.
elephants that have joint elbows. Elephants that have like joint issues and like are basically withering away. They let them float around in the pool so they can like
hydrotherapy.
Yeah,
pools.
yeah. It takes the weight off their joints.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's insane.
Mike, did you go on that?
No, I wasn't on that one, unfortunately, because it looked like an incredible trip. I didn't go.
Sorry, Logan. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I just a little context for the audience. The Ambani family. The first time I had heard about them was the wedding that they had.
Yeah,
one of the most expensive weddings in history.
Yeah,
like 250 million, 500.
He's about to beat that, by the way.
Oh, there you go.
No,
good luck.
Nah.
You got Bieber playing
Pretty
too,
close,
huh?
bro.
Yeah.
At this point,
Yeah.
it's getting out of control.
I'm getting married next month
Congratulations.
Thank you,
That's
dude.
awesome.
Thank
in Puerto Rico?
in Lake Como.
Oh, in Italy. That's
Como.
awesome.
Yeah, it's
Congrats,
gonna be great.
man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
He's never gonna get this sentence out. Keep cutting him off.
What, me?
Oh, yeah.
No, that was it.
I don't know too much about the wedding, but I all I know is what I saw in the tabloids, and it was this
Nuts.
big show, and you know, I think there was a cruise or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know Justin Bieber played at it. I know that.
Was it Beyonce too?
Me? I don't know. I wasn't there.
No, I know,
But he did say he would have invited me if he had known me at the time. So
Next one. Catch the next one.
we tried to get a performer at our wedding, Akon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but then he asked for $500,000.
Oh, that'll nip that.
Well,
in
he
the
needs
bud.
it to pay for that bankrupt city. I mean, it did. Didn't what happened to that damn?
I actually
crypto
know.
village?
I know exactly what happened.
Well, go ahead.
It just didn't work.
Oh well.
Yeah,
Fair
no,
enough.
it was crazy. And shout out Akon. He was very kind.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Hey,
Cool.
if you keep getting access like this, dude, something tells me more and more people are going to start saying we got to give access to that guy because he did such a great job. And it leads me to the question that's on the tip of every viewer's tongue, all of the co-hosts, everyone in this room right now. If you got access to go, oh my God, I just got goosebumps, to North Sentinel Island, okay, which is, oh man, to me, like that's like the mecca of remote places, okay? And they said, dude, we're gonna give you, I don't know how they're talking to you, by the way, but we're gonna give you access to come check out our digs. Like if they hit you up somehow, would you do it?
I wouldn't. I know. But can I explain myself? I wouldn't, because that is a culture. Do you know the origin of why they don't want anybody to come there?
Is it because of the lack of immunities to everyday civilized illnesses?
So this is like, from my understanding, and I might get crucified here, but it's been very greenwashed as to what actually happened. So what I've heard is that they actually did invite missionaries in a very long time ago. Like we're talking about like 80, 100 plus years ago.
Okay.
And one of the very first groups of Westerners that went there, I don't know if it was the missionary or the priest or just an onlooker or whatever, ended up being like a child.
You got to be.
So
they brought Epstein to the island.
So they brought Epstein. Not a laughing matter. But no. So what happened
they
was
ruined it for everybody.
So what happened was the Sentinelese got really upset because in came this Western devil and started fiddling with the kids.
Yeah.
And they killed that person and everybody else and said, never again. We're not letting the
and
outside world
that's
in.
like the representation of the civil.
And that's been passed down generationally, and they don't want anybody in. And would you imagine if So my point, so back to would I go, I wouldn't want to mess with that, not for my own safety or anything. They're a culture that has decided to stay isolated. I don't want to go force myself on that. Do you know what I mean? I think that would be disrespectful.
How long you think that could last? You think it'll just continue on? I mean, look, they're protected in multiple ways. Before you get to the shore, that the Indian Navy is going to get you.
Yeah.
Like they're going to come, they're going to arrest you.
Yeah.
You're not going to get close enough to the island. But some people have gotten close enough. And dude, how crazy is it that the last guy that went, or at least documented case, thought that bringing Christianity was going to be the answer.
Right.
And really, he was just being a replica of what happened the last time.
That's
so
my
he came and he's like, I come in peace, with the cross and the Bible and everything. And they just hit him.
They're like, we know what you guys do.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And they hit him with the spears, the blunt objects. Dude, they don't know anything. Bro. They don't even know that Logan's even going to be in SummerSlam.
New Jersey. So.
Yeah. Fighting Jelly Roll. Imagine trying to explain Jelly Roll to the North Sentinel East.
You could not.
I wanted to ask about that as well. I mean, okay, actually.
Sorry, I have to throw up really quick.
Bro, this could be a 2-hour episode.
No, it is. By the way, call them.
Cancel the Kimmel shit. Bro. Tell them I'm not going.
It's not happening.
You went with the Nelk Boys.
Yeah.
To an uncontacted tribe.
Pretty much, yeah. Uh-huh.
They gave him a vape.
They sure did. Salim did. Yeah.
That was.
So let me explain that a little bit. Okay. So Kyle contacted me and was like, "Yo, would you take us to meet this tribe?" And I was already going to Vanuatu, to a very nearby island at that time of year. And I was like, "Look, if you want to jump on, we can go over to Mota Island, which is the island that has this very, very remote, very traditional tribe. It's not truly uncontacted. There's literally one Western guy named Brett who goes there and is part of the tribe and stuff.
I see.
And he speaks through another translator. They speak it's a whole thing. But I said to Kyle, I was like, look, we can go to Mota. Like, they live a very traditional way, blah, blah, blah. But this is how the vape thing came up. But they really appreciate, they're not like the North Sentinelese. They have exchange and stuff, and they really appreciate ciggies. Like, bring some heaters, and they'll love you for it, So Kyle, being Kyle, he landed at the airport in Vanuatu and bought like $5,000 worth of duty-free cigarettes.
Yeah.
And so we got there, and part of it was giving out the cigarettes, and they were stoked. I don't remember if that went on camera or not, but the tribesmen were super happy to have, because they just use like hand-rolled like dirt cigarettes, and they had like, Marlboro Reds or something. So they were stoked. But by the second day, they had smoked through 1,000+ cigarettes, and Salim's standing there with his vape, and he's like, "Here, you want this? You want this?" And so they took it.
That's so funny. It seemed like they enjoyed it.
Oh, they loved it. They loved it.
But it seemed, I could see how a viewer without that context thinks it's fucked up.
Yeah.
There was a bit of backlash.
Oh, totally. And I mean, that's not my department. I stay out of that kind of thing.
Were you able to stay out of that?
I mean, I was there. I was on the island, but I can't control. I mean, you know what Kyle and the boys are like. You can't control those guys.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way. They're a ton of fun, but I have no control over that.
Is it true? I heard maybe it was a different uncontacted tribe, which, by the way, maybe they're uncontacted or not. I heard one of them was introduced to porn, and then they got
yes.
like severely addicted to
Yeah,
porn.
that was Steiny. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's a different thing. So my understanding of that is in the Amazon, somebody came in with like Starlink or one of these internet things and was like, we're going to help you. And this happens almost every time people interfere with other cultures. They're like, we're going to help you. Here's some Starlink internet and some phones. Straight up, they're like, wow, shaved boxes. Never seen that before. And so it like ruined the whole call.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the collapse of society is
Yep.
because Alana Rhodes is ex.
Yep.
So you got to be careful with that shit, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
Apparently
what do you think is the most dangerous thing that they could do, like right off the rip, do with a phone? I can't be.
Oh, it's definitely it's got to be, dude. Like.
Well, porn it's free, it's easily accessible. You know, they don't have money, they can't buy stuff. But you think about it, like all of us sitting here, you probably remember when smartphones came out, got your first smartphone, started using it, whatever, video games. We've had sort of a little bit of a rollout of this stuff.
Yeah.
So you can get a little desensitized to it, and we're still all addicted to our phones. I'm on my phone all day. I'm sure you guys are too.
All day.
But imagine coming in cold to someone who's never even seen a cell phone, probably never seen a screen, and then handing it to them and be like, here's everything in the world to access. It's just like.
And if you have any questions, here's Chat GPT.
Yeah, exactly.
Just ask it anything.
Yeah.
Imagine being the first like villager to get clout.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Got like 12 Instagram followers.
Yeah. Like how many followers? You got 12, and they're just like start acting different.
Yeah.
They switch up on their village, dude.
He lives at the top of the hill.
Yeah.
He's got like coconut sunglasses on.
Dude, something really interesting that I'll see these videos and that I like to think about. I saw this one video of someone showing one of these like uncontacted tribes a mirror. Right? And for the first time in their lives, these people are seeing themselves. These indigenous people are seeing what they look like. And this guy's holding up this thing that kind of looks like a portal,
right?
But it's reflecting your reality back to you.
Right.
And they were looking at this guy like he's like a witch, or they were like confused about the nature of their existence. It was insane. And I believe this is even where the term cargo cult came from.
I don't know.
I think I got this from Jesse Michaels, but basically they would drop off a cargo like truck or wagon full of goods to these indigenous tribes.
Yeah. And
they'd refill it every now and then. And so they would start worshiping this cargo wagon.
Yeah.
Right. And it became this cult like thing where they're now worshiping this. It's humans bringing this thing. It's a real thing that they thought was like God because it provides life.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the origin of cargo cult came from.
Oh,
but I often wonder, because I'm super into the alien and UFO conversation as well. It's like, is there in your opinion, hyper advanced version of humans that exist, or another inhabitant of this planet that would have technology that would perplex even us civilized people? And also, is that in your wheelhouse at all?
It's not, but I'm happy to have opinions on it. Like I study life. That's what I do as a biologist, right? I study animal life. In all my travels and things, there are weird anomalies that you cannot explain. I just saw a thing, and this has nothing to do with my travels, but have you ever seen the cell phone in the Mike Tyson photo? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
In 95, you know what I'm talking about, Mike?
Yeah, I remember seeing
I just saw this recently. In 95, Tyson had a fight. In the bottom left corner of it, there's a guy taking a photo on a white iPhone or a Samsung or something.
This. Yeah.
Which is, 25 years before that phone came out.
Yeah.
So there are weird little anomalies like that I think are, and that's just a weird, broad pop culture example, but there are weird anomalies like that I just think cannot be explained. And I don't know if that's an act of God, an act of aliens, an act of ancient civilizations. More and more information comes out about, lost civilizations in the Amazon and old cultures that were much more advanced than we think. So whether or not there's still a few sort of controlling beings running around, it seems unlikely to me. But I personally wholeheartedly believe in the whole universe, there are more advanced beings than us. Whether they're on Earth or not, who knows?
Yeah.
But I mean, infinite replicable planets and solar systems and stars, there's got to be other planets with more advanced beings than us.
I guess that's the crux of my question. Why I'm asking you this is because you've seen so much of the Earth, and even like I imagine ancient civilizations. You just mentioned lost civilizations. And I wonder if it all ties into the same conversation, or they're different conversations with hyper advanced intelligence and a potential lost civilization. Even like the conversation with those structures, those cylindrical structures that were found beneath the pyramids. Do you have an opinion on that?
I think that there's going to be more and more information that comes out. I think we as human beings are very arrogant in thinking we know so much about everything. And as time goes on, as long as we don't kill ourselves or blow ourselves up, I think we'll learn that there's more connectedness to everything than we think. It's just like the food web or the food chain, whatever you want to call it. We never used to think that if you killed all the sharks, everything underneath it would collapse. Now, as time's gone on, it's like, well, if you take away the keystone species or the apex predator, the whole system collapses. And I think the universe is probably just a big system, and it's all connected. Do you know what I mean?
I 100% know you.
Yeah. So what do I think about the weird LiDAR structures underneath the pyramids? No idea. Not an archaeologist, not a geologist, don't know anything about aliens. I think it's connected on the big picture to stuff we don't understand.
Let's talk about some stuff that you have some knowledge.
I'm so sorry, dude.
No,
I'm so
you're
sorry.
good.
Path, you
I just feel like you've seen a lot. I feel like you've seen a lot. Maybe
Dude, you
want
to know what he's seen? He had to run for his life from a hippo when it charged its canoe in Africa.
I just did that again like 3 weeks ago.
Damn.
I was catching hippos in Colombia.
Free dive face to face with a saltwater crocodile, got bitten by multiple sharks, bitten by a venomous snake. You're a psychopath.
Yeah.
Which one of these things was maybe the scariest moment for
I like ChatGPT's outline of me there.
Don't-
No, it's actually
Damn.
Pat's.
Oh, nice.
There. Where Pat?
He's not here today.
The most scary of all that, the scariest stuff for me is always human element. Because like if I
Nelk
make a
Boys.
mistake, if I make look, I get a bite from a shark or something. If I make a mistake, that's on me. Like I've done something stupid. I've pushed the animal too far. I've crossed the line in the sand. What I can't control is when rebels in Mozambique decide that we're doing something that we're not and they want to kill us. Or when people in Myanmar decide they're going to throw us in prison for life because we brought a drone in unknowingly, and all these other various like stupid things that we've ended up doing. But it's always the human element that's way more scary and way more dangerous, because it sounds ridiculous, but you can ration with an animal. Like if I have a close call, it's like, okay, don't get that close to that elephant. I made a mistake. Everybody stay back. Like nothing bad happened. You can't do that with a guy with an AK-47 in your face. You know, by the time the AK-47's in your face, you've already crossed the line.
Do you think that some of that comes from a place of PTSD from what happened in your childhood with your home in Zimbabwe?
It's a good question. I think that, so for context for anybody listening, I grew up in Zimbabwe. My family got kicked out of there in 2001 during all of the land reform because there's a lot of political turmoil.
Which is still going on today, right?
It's much more mellow than it was. There's much less murders and things like that, but the country's economically collapsed.
Yep.
So a lot of people got left, like my family. And I don't know if I have PTSD or not, but I think it's shaped who I am as a person. It's made me very resilient. It's made me work really hard, which I love doing all those things. And I think that it's also, on the positive side, it allows me to go into these super remote places all around the planet with different cultures and be able to communicate with them. Because I did grow up in Zimbabwe. I do know how to talk to tribal people. I know how to barter for things. I know how to hide when I need to hide or run when I need to run. And I think it's really helped me in my life.
What was that moment like when you were forced out of your home? Is that the fast track land reform? Is that what it's called?
It was the Robert Mugabe regime land.
Yeah. What was that like?
The most distinct memory of, look, it was bad. The thing is, we were going through it the same time as every other Zimbabwean farmer was going through it, so there were shootouts all the time. We got chased. There was gunfights. There was all this stuff going on, people getting killed that we knew and loved. And it was sort of this regression, but Zimbabweans by nature, they dig their heels in, they fight back, they stand up for what they believe in. So it always kind of felt like this is never going to happen to me, even though things were like literally closing in on us. And I have this distinct memory as a kid of like the war veterans had surrounded our property. They weren't real war veterans, they were kids with guns, but they'd surrounded our property. They'd taken all the neighboring farms already. We were the last one standing because we were the smallest farm, so they came for us last because we weren't that financially important. And my mom was a single mom. My dad was out of the picture, and she was running this farm with 2 kids. And my mom goes, go upstairs, lock yourself in your room, grab the gun. So I ran upstairs, locked myself in my room, grabbed the gun. But being a 14-year-old boy, I looked over, looked out the window to see what was going. And she was surrounded by all these guys with guns. And she started crying. She walked back in the house. She said, get your suitcase. We already had suitcases packed. She said, get your suitcase. We have to go right now. So they gave her a chance because she was a single woman and everything else. They didn't just kill her or anything. They gave my mom a chance to leave. Grabbed the suitcases. I fought it. I was like, no, I'll fight this, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, get in the car. So I got in the car, and I remember and I don't want to make this a sob story, but I was driving down my driveway, leaving, and my little dog that I'd had since I was 9 years old was running behind the car. And I remember looking at my dog, and I get a little choked up because I'm more of an animal person than a human person. And my dog was trying to catch me, and I never saw that dog again. And that was like a really hard moment of like, that's my whole life got left behind like that.
Crazy.
It was nuts. But like I said, I think it's shaped me to who I am today. And I don't want to be a sub-story guy. Like
I mean, dude, it's hard to not. I mean, you know, you got forced from your home as a kid, and it's, and you know, as a kid, your home and your pet and, you know, is everything.
Yeah,
you know, it's
exactly. It's all you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you come back to the States.
Yep.
And you grew up in SoCal.
Yeah, bounced around. We were in government welfare housing in Oakland, which was not nice back then. It wasn't all hipstery like it is today.
Right.
And bounced around, ended up in Cayucas, California, blah, blah, blah. And then I went to UCSB. And I don't know if you know UCSB, University of California, Santa Barbara. Great place, beautiful girls. I played rugby there, you know, was in the frat stuff, like had so much fun, loved being there. Cemented that relationship with biology because I always thought I was going to grow up to be a safari guide, which is what my family did. So when you can't be a safari guide in California, I studied it instead, became a biologist, and then just rolled that more and more into trying to share that passion for animals and nature with the world.
Got it.
You don't seem like you do it all, but do you have any trouble interacting with or finding that burning connection with humans as you do animals?
I don't think so. I'm not introverted. You know, I'm married. I have 2 kids. I love my wife. I love my kids. I've very close friends. I don't think so, but I don't go to therapy, so
like
I don't know.
It sounds like you're doing pretty good.
No, you straddle the line and can hop back and forth on both sides. I just know some people who are they're I find them a little more introverted, which is maybe why animal conservation people sometimes tend to be a little more introverted, which is maybe why they get along with animals more than they get along with humans.
Look, if you can dedicate your life to studying any animal, it's probably because you're not socially very acceptable.
I see.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like, it's cart and horse, but I don't have that problem, I guess. I don't know, but I like people and I like animals more.
Can we talk about some of this animal stuff and do a little bit of superlative work here? So I know you said you're most scared of, or I guess you have the most fear of humans because of their unpredictable nature.
Yeah.
But going back to animals specifically, what is an animal that scares the shit out of you?
There's 2, and the first one's a boring answer, but I'll say it anyway. One's mosquitoes, because you can't control it, right? You have no control whether you're going to get malaria or dengue or any of these things when you're dealing with mosquitoes, and they suck.
Fucking suck.
They suck so much. And the other is fucking hippos, dude. Every time I work with hippos, they nearly kill me. I've been working with the Colombian government because you know about Pablo Escobar's cocaine hippos?
Oh my God, yeah.
So I'm the guy who's working on catching and cutting their nuts off.
No way.
Yeah. I have a whole show on Discovery coming out about that in like 2 weeks.
No way.
Yeah.
Is it called Cocaine Hippos?
It's called Animals on Drugs. Even
Wow.
better. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Wow.
That's amazing. Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Cocaine hippos. Yeah.
Wow.
So I've been working with the Colombian government, not to catch them all and do that. It's impossible. It's a huge task, but to help build the blueprint of how to do it. So we've been building traps. We've been chemically castrating. We've been sterilizing. We've been castrating physically, doing surgery.
Wait, tell me why. Too many hippos.
Yeah, sorry. So Pablo Escobar brought 4 hippos to Hacienda Nápoles, which is this big, dope hideout in Colombia that was unbelievable. I've now been there a few times. And when he got killed, they're like, all right, we need to put the cheetahs in the zoo. We need to move this. We need to move that. And then everybody was like, well, we're not touching those fucking hippos. They're going to kill somebody. So they just opened the gates to let them out. So 4 hippos turned into what is reported to be 120 now, but it's actually well over 200.
Oh, man.
But the problem is, these are hippos in South America where they have no natural predators, unlimited food. They're a very dangerous animal, and they're just multiplying like rapid fire. And they're hurting people. We've interviewed multiple people. They've killed a couple people. They're destroying the environment. They're killing nesting area for certain turtles. I mean, they're not doing it
on a warpath.
They're on a warpath.
It just sucks because Mudang, he was so cute. A baby hippo.
He'd
oh my God,
fuck
they're
your world
adorable.
up,
He would.
Oh yeah, don't be fooled. Those little pygmy hippos, that's a pygmy hippo. It's a much smaller one. When they grow up, they're probably the meanest animal on planet Earth.
No way.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Aren't they like one of the most dangerous, like...
Bro, they're psychos. They have rage issues. Like, you can be... It sounds so stupid.
No, you're psychoanalyzing a hippo. This is great.
If we were in this room, right, and there was a pygmy hippo in that corner, if it was like people, it would just go full send at you to try and kill you.
And
for no reason.
How fast can they move?
I don't know. Pygmy hippo's probably like 35, 40 miles an hour. Faster than you.
How much do they weigh?
Or me. The pygmies are like 500, 600. No, like 400, 300, 400 pounds.
And there's no way you'd win that fight.
No way.
Why? The bite force?
They're first of all, maybe if you had a sword or something, but they're this much layer of fat after an inch of skin that's basically, you can't punch through it. You're not going to do any damage. Razor sharp teeth and a fucked up attitude. Like they're just so shitty to deal
And don't hippos kill like a lot of people every year?
The big ones do, yeah. The adult, the large hippos, not the pygmy hippos, are the most dangerous animal in Africa.
Okay.
So I was just in Colombia. Do you mind if I tell you guys a story?
Yeah, please.
So we're just in Colombia, and there's this island in the middle of the river. Now there's like one thing. Again, my family used to run safaris, right? So there's like one rule in Africa, which is like never walk near hippos in thick bush, because if you can't see them, they have bad eyesight and they're very flighty. They'll just attack. It's like a known thing. Well, guess what? In the jungles of South America, it's all dense. There's no open savanna lands like there is in Africa. So we're working with the Colombian government, and they're like, okay, in the middle of this island, in the middle of the river, is where the hippos go during the day, because there's like a little mud hole wallowing area. But you're walking through Amazon-type jungle to get there, and we're cruising through, and it's so thick. I mean, you literally can't see me to the cameras, because it's just walls of vegetation. And all of a sudden, we you get to the edge of the vegetation, and from me to the camera is this hippo sitting in like a muddy pool that it can't submerge in. So it just panics, comes running right out. Luckily, we all split in a million different, it was me, my camera guys, the biologist, everything. We all split in a million directions, and it came towards me and my sound guy, and then we turned left and it turned right. But it's like every time I'm around these things, they try to kill me.
You gotta be careful, bro.
I know, it's stupid.
You have a plan?
Not really, no.
Bro, I would hate to hear some news about you being mauled by an animal.
Nah, I'm good, man. I'm on top of it. I take those risks myself.
Okay.
I'm doing that. If I get hurt, it's because I'm doing it.
Okay.
And I love what I do. It was very exciting. And we caught that hippo and cut his nuts off. So he lost. Yeah.
He deserves it.
Yeah.
Charging my boy.
He's more chill now?
Yeah, for sure.
He's just sitting in that swamp just hanging?
Dude, you cut anything's nuts off and it becomes more chill.
Yeah.
That's
Not my XL bully. I feel like my XL bully is just still just a freak.
Well, how do you know what he would have been like if he still had him?
True.
He
So
could be
true.
freaking here right now.
This conversation makes me so happy, and I'm positive you've already answered this because you're the guy to ask the following question. Was burning the internet 100 gorillas versus 1 human?
Love this question.
Who's winning?
Who do you think? You guys weigh in and then I'll give you my opinion.
Wait, sorry. 100 humans versus 1 gorilla.
You did say 100 gorillas.
100.
Now that's
crazy.
a messed up.
Yeah.
All right.
So, okay. 100 humans versus 1 gorilla. Who's winning? It has to be the humans.
I'm with the humans.
It has to be the
You're
humans.
both right.
Yeah.
You're both right.
That's a lot.
Because, first of all, 100 people is a shit ton of people.
Yeah.
And a gorilla is not an endurance athlete. So that's the thing.
I saw your answer on this, actually.
Okay, so
Yeah.
So it went kind of viral when I answered it on the internet. But it's just, they're just not made for endurance. A gorilla will smash, it'll destroy everything in this room, but then it's going to gas out. If you have 100 people, yes, 30, 40, 50 people might get killed or destroyed, but then it's going to gas out completely, and then you're just mobbing on
Got
top
no
of
gas
it.
tank.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor round 2 type shit.
That's right,
Okay,
yeah.
what if the gorilla trained cardio?
I'd have to do a lot of training.
Like one of those gorillas on VO3, one of those VO3 gorillas.
I think you'd fuck them up.
Okay, what about what if people just had the animal wrong the whole time? Because I do want to ask you this too. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if it was a fucking polar bear?
I would think the polar bear will do a lot more damage than the gorilla.
So wow.
Well, a polar bear is 1,500 pounds.
Bro, can we
12 feet
talk
tall.
about this?
Yeah.
Can we really talk about this?
Let's
I don't
go.
think people really understand that. What was that height you used again? Like, what's the average?
They're like I fact check me on this, but they're like 1,400 pounds. Okay, a
12
gorilla is 300 pounds,
bro,
for scale. So
and not armed with Freddy Krueger's hands.
correct, exactly.
Like, how does that animal even really exist? Like, how is that a real thing? It sounds like something out of a nightmare. What do they say about the 3 color schemes? Brown, lay down.
Oh yeah,
Black, fight back.
yep,
White, say goodnight.
that's it. You
You
got
just
it.
have no chance.
You have no chance, none whatsoever. And they're one of only 4 animals that choose to actively hunt human beings.
What?
Yeah. No, but they're too big, they're too strong, and the reason they've got so big and they are so strong is they hunt whales and walruses and these giant marine mammals.
I saw this one video of a polar bear on the edge of its ice block, like swiping at the orcas running, or not the orcas, like these whales coming by. I'm like, this guy's a fucking maniac.
It's crazy. Belugas and narwhals.
Yeah.
And then you'll see, you know, when you look at the scale, like when you're looking at the video, you're like, oh, the polar bear's this big, and then the whale's this big. But keep in mind, that's still 12 feet long, that bear. And then he jumps in the water and pulls it out like a dog with a bone.
Yeah.
And he pulls out this whole whale. I mean, so my answer is the polar bear would
So are they the apex?
polar bears?
Yeah.
Of the planet?
Yeah, like I know it's weird and doesn't make sense, but you put it in the room with the silverback, a lion.
Yeah, this
like,
is a good question.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
what is this planet's apex predator? Truly.
I mean, humans are, right? We've colonized.
Take us out.
Take that
Besides
out.
you
Okay,
idiots out of
okay.
it.
Sorry. I mean, predator, polar bear. There's no predator in the world that'll beat a polar bear. I believe that.
But an elephant could beat a polar bear?
Correct. Yeah. The large herbivores, like a huge elephant, a big bull African elephant. Well, there's nothing that walks on land that can defeat it.
what about a mouse?
What about a mouse?
Yeah, they get so
Pull up their skirt. I remember those cartoons. Yeah.
they fall over.
I went on a safari, which, by the way, if you have the opportunity to go on a safari, one of the coolest experiences of my life.
Dude, I got to take you on a real safari.
I was going to ask the link after this because I'm an adventure guy. We got to go on some.
Let's go. I'm not even joking. You can turn the cameras off. Let's go collar elephants, tag lions.
Yeah, I'm
put
in.
collars on giraffes, things
I'm
that
in.
conservation needs.
I'm in.
That's the cool stuff.
I love that.
Flying around in helicopters, darting elephants, putting collars on them, moving them.
We got
saving
to do that with an elephant.
Oh, you
I
did?
wasn't in the chopper.
That's
wasn't
so
in the
cool.
chopper, but I got to be there when what did they do? They took like a blood sample or something.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Something. It was sick. But man, you really don't understand how big an elephant is.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when you see this thing take down a tree.
Yeah.
Take down a tree.
Like it's nothing.
Like it's nothing.
Isn't it crazy?
And I went and pushed on some of these trees. I'm like, they got to be like weak trees.
Yeah. Nope.
No.
You like
they just ravage everything.
It's and you like put your hand on one's head, or because I've darted and moved elephants and stuff a lot, and you go to one that's sleeping, you put your hand on its head, and its eyeballs like this,
Yeah.
and you're like,
Yeah.
that's its eyeball.
Yeah.
You know, let alone its feet or its ears, or it's
Dick.
unbelievable. It's dick. They've got
massive.
Yeah,
Insane.
Massive.
It's almost like a fifth leg.
it is. It really is. Yeah,
It's crazy your name is Forrest and you do what you do.
I know. Thank God my mom was a hippie. It really helped.
Yeah. It's almost like, I feel like every guy I know named Rich
Yeah.
is insanely rich.
Is that
Oh
true?
yeah, shout out Rich.
Yeah, shout out
Watching
Rich.
this from Saint Tropez.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, speaking of deadly animals, what about snakes?
What about them? Love them.
Okay. See, this stuff I get very curious because it's crazy. We talk about all these large animals, but then in some weird world, like you said, the actual scariest animal could be this
Totally.
big and could take down any of them, dude. Isn't that crazy?
Kill rates for snakes way higher than any large animal.
Crazy.
Way higher.
whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously, like we've got rattlesnakes, we've got cobras, we've got the black mamba.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the deadliest snake on the planet?
Not by kill count, but it has one of the strongest venoms. The strongest venom of any snake on the planet is the inland taipan.
Oh,
So
shit.
in Australia, of course, dude, I have a crazy story about a taipan too. But in Australia, they have a couple types, but basically an inland and a coastal taipan, which is like a mamba. It's like their version of a mamba. And that venom, I think it said like one drop has the potency to kill 1,000 people.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So if you get bait, you're cooked completely.
You're
Like, is-
cooked, yeah.
Do they have an anti-venom?
I believe they do, but like all anti-venoms, it's not shelf stable. You have to make it like every 3 days.
Aren't they
costs
really
$100,000 a
expensive?
vial.
Yeah.
So, the likelihood of, in Australia, their medical is really good, but the likelihood that you're getting to a hospital in time, getting treated, getting enough vials, it's like slim to none.
Dude, what's the deal with that continent, man? Like, and just that whole outback situation. It's so weird, bro. Like, it's like
Very weird.
How do they end up with like everyone is in this like one little tiny area, and then the whole rest of the country in the middle of Perth and Sydney, that sandwich, the whole rest of the country is just giant
Barren.
spiders and kangaroos that box each other and like snakes that will kill you with one bite. It's
Yeah.
nuts, dude.
It's crazy.
How did that happen?
Well, it's actually really interesting. Have you ever heard of the Wallace Line? So nobody understands what this is. So if you think of a map of the world and you go over from like Indonesia towards Australia, halfway through that is this thing called the Wallace Line. It's an imaginary line. And no mammals that we think of, as in tigers or monkeys or any of those things, cross that line. So for whatever weird reason that nobody, you want to talk about aliens and shit, that nobody understands, there's this imaginary line called the Wallace Line, and everything on the right-hand side of that, meaning like Papua New Guinea, Australia, blah, 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 has its own completely unique fauna, animals.
What the F, dude?
And that's where all these marsupials come from, and kangaroos, and snakes that aren't related to any other snakes, and all this weird shit lives on the right-hand side of the Wallace Line. And you can literally cross over the line. I'm talking about like 100-foot difference, and then all of a sudden you have every other type of animal on the planet. And this goes across dozens of islands, like big land masses, everything. It makes no sense.
That feels inexplainable.
It is.
Do you think it has to do with potentially like a mountain range that exists in the area that like blocks a certain type of like dampness of air? Because isn't the Australia like for the outback itself, right? Isn't there a mountain range on the east side of Australia that creates an arid environment that blocks?
Like a big rain shadow.
Like it protects Sydney, Brisbane, and all those places. And then when you move to the left of it, you get this arid desert.
Australia has every type of landscape.
It's such a weird place. That's why I ask. It's gotta be, and the weirdest part, the weirdest wildlife there is the women and the people. Bro, they're sick. They're sick. And I mean that in the most respectful way because I love Australians.
Yeah, they're fun.
I love their people, bro.
But you get them out of Australia, they go nuts.
Bro, they're crazy.
They're crazy.
They're actually like built different than like you know, everybody looks at America as like loud, boisterous, like the guys and the girls are this and that. Bro, Australians have us beat in every single category, dude.
I played rugby a lot. Like, I love rugby. And every time, like, we had Australian teammates or playing against a team full of Australians, I was like, well, my liver's going to hurt. Like, these guys are going to
out-drink, out-drug, out-fuck. Anything you do, Australians go harder than you. Guaranteed.
100%.
Something about that island.
It's a weird place, and I love it there.
Which side of the Wallace Line are they on?
They're I mean, I don't know. I guess the right side.
Maybe the animals are just staying away from the Australians.
Right.
Yeah, that is a good point.
Fucking psycho.
Lions are scared of them.
So when I was in Australia, this is like 7-8 years ago now, I was filming a scene for a show I had on Animal Planet called Extinct or Alive. And all of a sudden, we're in this Aboriginal community, and the Aboriginal people start screaming, snake, 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 snake. And I look, and this like probably 8-foot taipan goes racing under this house that's like up on cinder blocks. Oof. And this guy's like holding a cinder block like this. I'm like, wait, I'll catch it. I'll move it for you. Like, don't kill it. Because I don't really like things to die needlessly. And so long story made short, I do this whole song and dance trying to catch the snake, and he's curled up under this house that's up on like 3 cinder blocks. I'm looking with my flashlight. I got my snake hook. I lose sight of him under the house. The house, because it's up on cinder blocks, has like 3 slotted stairs going up to it. I'm like, where's that fucking snake gone? I can't find it. So I decide to stick my head through the slats of the stairs, right, to look for it with my flashlight. So I stick my arm and stick my flashlight. I look this way, and I'm just about to turn and look this way, and I just feel this thing, swear to God, starts crawling up my neck, and I just freeze. I've just told you guys, like literally one of the most venomous creatures on planet Earth. One bite and I'm dead, and I'm like 12 hours from anything. And this coastal taipan, not the inland, but the coastal, crawls literally over my neck and over my arm and down and coils up over there. And it just goes to show you, they're not aggressive.
Yeah.
You just mess with them and they're going to get upset. And thank God it didn't bite me, especially on the neck. Ended up catching it and moving it after that. But it was crazy.
Yo, that is insane.
I get goosebumps just thinking about that time.
I would definitely classify that as a near-death experience.
Yeah.
How many of those have you had?
A few now, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, a couple plane crashes. That one, I thought I rubbed snake venom in my eye one time. I thought that was going to kill me. Yeah, a couple bad things.
Plane crashes?
2, yeah.
Bro, come on. What?
One was in Zimbabwe where I grew up, and plane got struck by lightning, so all the instruments went down. Then when we came to land, because all the instruments were down, we couldn't see what was going on, big storm, and the wing hit a termite mound. You know, you have those big termite mounds in Africa. So the plane just... Yeah, so plane was trashed. We were okay, broken ribs, stuff like that, but otherwise good. And the other one was actually in Panama. And that was less dramatic. The plane just went off the end of the runway and into the trees.
Just a little fender bender.
Yeah. I mean, still a total plane, but it was like, into the trees.
Bro, you're You're a psycho. A little. Like, I don't know, man.
But a lot of this,
Dude, it sounds safer to me than wrestling people, to be honest.
I don't know, because we're just risking like paralysis from either the waist up or waist down, not our lives.
Still sounds scary.
Actually, that's not even true. I don't know. That's so funny. That's so funny. I'm afraid of what you do.
That's all right. We can be afraid of each
That's
other.
crazy.
What were you gonna say, Mike?
I was just gonna say a lot of the stuff that you're doing has a potential to impact positively the world, right? And it's you found 8 species of animals that were thought to be extinct.
That's right. Yeah.
What were those animals? Can you like rattle them off?
Sure. Yeah, if you want.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah, so it's the Fernandina tortoise, the Miller's grizzle langur, the Rio Apiporus caiman, the Zanzibar leopard, and then 4 different species of shark.
How do you not notice where a turtle is? They don't move very fast.
It's a good question. So this was on a very remote island in the Galápagos that gets no foot traffic. It's closed to the public, and only one specimen of that species had ever been found 114 years prior. And to date, it's still the only known individual. So
whoa,
one tortoise that's this big on a big island, and we tracked it down and found it in this
so
bush.
cool.
And what happens when that happens? What's the protocol? First of all, do you go crazy?
I go ape shit. It's my wife will kill me for saying it. It's the happiest moment of my life. Like, way better than getting married or having kids.
That's crazy.
Well, bro, think about what you're doing. That's so different than what everyone else is doing. And
Yeah.
I'm having kids is beautiful and wife and all that stuff, but you're bringing back a species.
It's no tortoise, Mike. It's no tortoise.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I lose it. Like, I get emotional. I go crazy. I mean, I think that's why the shows are successful, because I'm so passionate about these things. But, like, I dove in this bush like that thing was a cheetah and it was a tortoise, wasn't going anywhere. Scooped it up and held it up, and it was literally the happiest moment of my life. And I was holding, to date, the rarest animal on planet. Literally more rare than the dire wolves they brought back, because there's 3 of them. This is the only individual of the species known on planet Earth. So it's the rarest creature on Earth. And it's just, for me, it's just like so exciting. So to answer your question, I used to try and get involved in the ongoing conservation and management of the species, but I'm just like the hide and seek guy. I'm the mercenary, I hand it over wherever I can, or I work with governments and local organizations, and then they take on the management or the conservation of that species. And I go on to try and promote awareness and help and find the next thing.
So what did they do when you found that? Like, what was the next step?
So Fern, which is what we named her, got moved to the Fausta Lorena breeding facility, which is where Lonesome George, the other last ever big tortoise, was on Santa Cruz Island. And then I had a bit of a falling out with the Galápagos government, unfortunately.
Oh man,
yeah, they weren't too.
Sorry to hear it, man.
They weren't too happy that I found the only tortoise that they hadn't been able to find in 114
What?
years.
What?
Days. No, because it was like an ego thing.
Yeah, but
come on.
Anyway, I don't want to disparage
okay,
them,
okay.
but they never invited me back to go look for more, and they've mounted 3 or 4 expeditions since to find a mate for Fern, and they've not succeeded.
Man, what's so funny? Ever since I first heard about Charles Darwin going to the Galapagos Island as like a child,
Yeah.
I had always wanted to go there. It's on my bucket list.
Oh, you got to go.
Yeah.
Incredible. The coolest thing about it, the animals are very unique, yes, but what's even cooler than that is there's not a single animal that's scared of you, because there's no big predators there.
Interesting.
So like, you can walk up to a seal or a sea lion and it'll like try and hug your feet.
Oh man.
Or you'll be walking where all these iguanas are and they just look at you. Like nothing runs away, because the people came there so late in time, and they've never had any natural land predators. So nothing's scared of you. So it's like being in this like almost like Eden, where all the animals are like friend.
Oh
It's
my God,
unbelievable.
That's so cool, man. Yeah, I don't know if the government would have me though. Like Egypt wouldn't let me go with Mr. Jimmy Beast to go live in the pyramids for 7 days.
Wait,
Yeah.
they specifically said no, Logan Paul.
Yes, that's exactly what.
What?
They said, Jimmy, you can come stay in our pyramids, all 3 of them, unfettered access for a week, Jimmy. As long as you don't bring Logan Paul.
No way they said
They
that.
said that.
Yo,
Really?
imagine they really just don't like you WWE stuff.
It was yeah.
Like, because you're like they.
They're a Jelly Roll fan.
Yeah.
No, he. They also said Vitali, who had climbed one of the pyramids
Those 2
before.
people?
Yeah,
You and Vitali?
Well, in my head, I'm like, I've never been to Egypt.
Yeah.
Never talked shit about Egypt. I love Egypt.
Yeah.
What could it be? And I think I found out what it was.
What is it?
Do you remember the guy who went on Joe Rogan? He's a super famous Egyptologist. He's Egyptian. He's the guy who digs up the mummies and
The old guy smokes all the cigars.
Yes,
I do remember that.
I
don't know.
I don't know his name. He's a doctor.
I think Joe Rogan said. I think he might have said this to me. He was the worst guest he ever had on.
because Rogan was like pressing him about like what could be, and he's like, no, like there's
that guy.
No, it's impossible that there's aliens out
Yeah.
there, and it's like, yo, like, is it impossible? Like,
And he's like, engage with me in the conversation. Yeah.
So I think this is just my gut, but
Okay.
I think based on seeing that sentiment, I've been kind of outspoken about who built the pyramids. I've just been asking questions, and
They don't like that.
I don't think they like when. What else could I have done besides that one other thing?
Mike, why's your face turning red, bro?
I don't think it had to do with aliens.
I don't know.
man.
What have I done to
know.
Egypt? What the Egyptian government? They blacklisted me, but maybe the Galápagos.
The Galápagos will not have that issue, I don't think.
We could be out there hugging seals.
Dude, you can, I mean, not legally, but you know.
No. The seals hug.
That's right.
You.
They can hug you. You can't hug them.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. Do you have to walk far there?
No, not
to get
really.
Places?
No.
I have no ankle on my right leg.
Yeah, no ankle.
Oh,
So, well, I still have it. It's just not It's not working really well.
you don't have to do long walks or anything.
Really?
It's very catered to people visiting it.
I should go.
Why?
Because I was flown here to do a job for the company that I work for.
Oh, that's a pretty good reason.
That's a good
You answered it like
Yeah.
extremely well.
I think you two should continue.
Oh yeah, I'm cool with that.
I'm super down.
Yeah. I'm gonna have someone connect us afterwards.
Yeah, sounds good, man.
What do you want to do about the photograph? Yeah, can we take a photograph?
Yeah, of course.
And you guys
Yeah,
want to
we'll just jump back in.
just because, bro, like I'm gonna watch the rest of this episode.
On this topic of extinct animals.
Now that fire's finally gone.
Bro, what's the deal with that guy, dude?
You tell me, he's your buddy.
He's got so much shit going on.
I
dude.
know. I'm just teasing. No, that was cool. That was awesome.
This rarely happens, but he might be like one of the hardest working people on the internet.
I forget who told me that when we connected for the pod, but they were just like, he never stops.
It's a different level. I don't think people like truly understand. Like it's just thing to thing to thing to thing.
Yeah.
Like he wakes up and rolls out of bed, gets on emails, gets on calls for Prime, whatever, goes to this thing, flies to this thing, goes to this thing. It just
Crazy.
never stops, dude.
I mean, look at what he's built though, so it's awesome.
An empire, but he's not allowed to go to Egypt,
Yeah, that's true.
and it's not because of aliens.
I'm gonna make some calls on that because I've worked with them in a environmental capacity.
You know, another thing about him too is it's weird, but people kind of like set their judgment on him and his brother, and they're really not willing to talk about it.
Really?
Yeah.
I find that interesting because from a public perspective, I always think of like, and I don't want to be mean about anything, but it seems like he's the good brother and his brother's the bad brother. Like that's what it seems.
They swap back and forth.
Oh, okay.
It depends on what the news cycle says. It depends on what like the latest controversy is.
Oh,
I mean, it
interesting.
really like flip flops back and forth. And Jake is, I think LP's probably had a little bit more trouble recently than Jake. Jake's been just so locked in on boxing. Do you watch all the all the stuff?
Yeah. I mean, not everything, but I've watched his fight career, and you know, I like sports, so I've just kept an eye on that, and it's cool.
Do you think that? Do you subscribe to the absurdity of all of it? Like, do you think that we're in a place where things will start to pendulum back in any direction, or do you think that the absurdity of all of this stuff is just getting started? And by all of this stuff, I mean your kids will grow up saying that the boxer that introduced them to the sport was Jake Paul. The person that introduced them to WWE will be Logan Paul, right? Like, do you think that we're moving towards a place where it's going to slow down, or do you think we're just getting started?
I think we're just getting started, and I think it's awesome. It's the same reason that, you know, dude, when LP says, let's go do animal stuff, I get so excited because if I imagine 10 years from now, I'm walking down the street and some fan runs up to me and goes, dude, because of when you and Logan Paul went to the Galápagos, I now study iguanas. I'm going to be like, fuck yeah, that is so awesome that Logan and I went to the Galápagos and you now love iguanas. You know what I mean? And I think that's so cool. That sounds very arrogant the way I phrased it, but
No.
I think it's so cool that people that just have a passion, whatever that passion is, whether it's WWE or boxing or animals or whatever it is, can bring it to the masses. It never used to be like that.
That's a good point. That's a good point, because there used to be such a gatekeeping, and I think that's like the weird part about all of it is like, you know, it's weird as you watch like musicians nowadays can't play instruments. A lot of rappers can't even rap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But because of their ability to spread to the masses, so you have to ask yourself that question, like, is the gatekeeping worth it, or is it more worth it to be able to spread the message widely, right? And that's kind of like the table stakes nowadays, is like, can you deliver a message broad?
How's your storytelling? Like, what is your storytelling abilities? And I think it's great, and I think there'll always be a healthy balance of both. You know, there'll always be people who come up the traditional sense, whether that's going to university, studying, becoming a seasoned biologist, or do it through media, or, you know, starting boxing from a kid because you're a legacy, or joining it after being an influencer. Like, who cares? It's great. The more people that get into these things, the better.
Yeah, totally.
That's what I think.
Totally. So what animals do you think are out there that are currently listed as extinct but might still be out there?
Dude, we have a list, my team and I, of probably around 1,200 species that we think have the potential to still be out there, that are declared extinct or missing. And of those 1,200, there's like 8 of them that I'd say I'm almost positive are still out there.
And what does that process look like as you try to like actually go find one?
It's all dependent on the creature, because that's the cool thing about animals and conservation. There is no blanket approach. You can look at certain variables like, is there sufficient habitat? Is it protected? Is there prey species? When was the last time it was seen? Who's reporting it? Who declared it extinct? Why was it declared extinct? All these various factors. And then you can start to sort of paint a picture of, well, wait a minute. That was just some British dude who went there 70 years ago who said it was extinct because he didn't find it after smoking cigars for 10 days in the jungle. You know, I'm exaggerating, but like, you can kind of like start to paint this picture and just go, wait a minute. This is human arrogance that is declared this way. And it might not be true. So we go and launch these super cool expeditions. And I'm leaving for the first one I've done in a long time, extinct animal expedition in Borneo in November, which I'm really excited about.
Who funds it?
So I started YouTube about 2 years ago. I also have all these Discovery Channel shows and projects. So I'm self-funding it now. It used to be funded by, we get some grant money, but mostly through network funding. So like Animal Planet would pay me to do a show. I produced the show, so I'd then use a portion of that money to go on the expedition and the adventure, and that was the funding model.
So you're coming out of pocket personally to pay for this stuff.
Yep.
And I guess why?
Well, now there's a return with YouTube. Like my YouTube's grown quite a lot,
Yep.
and I've only been doing it a little while. But now, if I put out a big video, that video makes a lot of money. You know, in between sponsors and ad dollars and clicks and all this stuff, it adds up to, you know, look, I've got to make maybe 10 videos for every one that really, if I'm going to make 10 videos in an office or a studio or a small adventure, and then I can take that money and put that money into one grand adventure that I know won't pencil out, that's fine.
Right.
Because I was never in this for the money. Like I've done well enough, but I'm in this for the adventure and the conservation.
Would you ever bring like a streamer to any of these places? Like,
sure.
I just don't see, I can see a world where like Speed or like Kai or like one of these big guys would go
anyone.
out. Yeah.
Bro, I'll take anyone. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your religious views are, your political views, your sexual views, social views. I couldn't care any less what you stand for. If you have a big audience or you have a big message or you want to go experience something awesome in the wild world, I'll take you.
I mean, you kicked it off with the Nelk Boys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Bringing vapes to the...
Which I didn't even know what I was getting into when I did, but yeah, it was awesome. And we're really good friends now.
Were you worried at all about bringing them out there?
I was worried more from a, like, how are these guys going to manage standpoint? Because they're not used to sleeping on huts and working with tribes and being covered in mosquitoes and stuff like that, and they handle it like champs.
They didn't complain at all?
Oh, they complained bitterly every second of the day, but they complained in a funny way that was, you know, embracing the suck kind of thing, and it was awesome. What's your dream, Mike? Where would you go? What's your wildlife fantasy?
You know, honestly, dude, I'm scared of a lot of those animals, dude.
Yeah?
I really am. They scare, like, dude, like spiders and shit scares the shit. Like,
I don't like spiders.
I hate spiders. I mean, I would say, like, I think it would be cool to go to Antarctica.
Uh-huh.
Have you been there?
Never. It's the only continent I haven't stepped foot
What's
on.
the deal? What do you think? There's any chance that that's the end of the Earth and the Earth is flat and it's being protected by the government to protect?
I don't. I don't. To be honest, I'm not a flat earther.
Yeah.
I've also see all these things now. Have you seen this of like there's a secret society, a civilization in Antarctica, then that's why the military protects it.
Yeah.
I've been seeing that floating around.
Do you buy into any of that shit?
Bro, if you have been to the Arctic, which I've been to, nobody's surviving there. I mean, it's incredible that native people were able to move through like the land bridge and into the Arctic and stuff because there are some weeks in the summer where it's tolerable, but it is a fucking harsh environment.
Where did you go in the Arctic?
I've been a couple places through Scandinavia. I've been through the Aleutian Islands in Alaska. I went in the Canadian Arctic. I've been a few spots up there.
So I've been to, this probably almost doesn't even count, but I've been to like Lapland in Finland.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I've gotten to travel not like you have, but I've gone to a lot of places, and I really don't know that I've experienced beauty like that northern realm of the world. Like even like it's not in the circle, but like even like Iceland.
Yeah.
You go there and it presents a whole new perspective on life and on what the planet looks like, and the black sand and you know, like it's just insane. And I got a really good glimpse of the Northern Lights in Finland, and it was just incredible. I mean,
our planet is, I don't want to sound preachy, but it's so diverse. I mean, you look out where we are right now, and then you look at Lapland, or you look at Death Valley, or it's unbelievable how incredible this planet is and how many landscapes and ecosystems and crazy animals like crazy sharks and snakes and bugs and mammals, venomous monkeys. I mean, crazy stuff on this planet. It's so cool.
And just like the landscapes in general. I guess like for me, it always like makes me super grateful to have the ability to travel and to see all these places.
Yeah. We're very, I mean, you're yourself, myself, anybody who gets to experience stuff like this is unbelievably lucky. You take it with you forever. You know what I mean? Yeah. You pass it on to your kids, pass it on to your friends, whatever it is. But it's nothing like experiencing travel. It's the best.
How do you turn it off? Like, how do you... For me, I don't know about you, but like when I come back from a lot of these trips, like I just went on this month-long trip. I was in Copenhagen, I was in Ibiza, some places I've already been, some new places. And then sometimes I'll get back and it's almost like this like super dopamine like drop off.
I know the feeling. So I usually, and tell me if you've experienced this, but I usually get back and I'm like, oh, thank God, I'm so happy to be home. I'm so exhausted. I've sent it so hard. And then literally like 3 days later, I'm like antsy. I'm like, I got to get out of the house. Like I'm going crazy. I'm stir crazy. And I always think when I'm traveling and sitting on planes and shit, I'm like, I need like 3 weeks at home. It's the only way I can rejuvenate or re-energize. 48 hours go by and I'm like, right, I got to get to the next thing. Like if I sit for too long, maybe I have ADD or something.
No. I'm exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like, and I wonder about it sometimes if this like wanderlust is kind of like a new addiction.
Oh, totally.
I've always been like so obsessed and like enamored with Bourdain and like his desire to journey and for me like your animal thing for me is food.
Yeah,
so
I love that.
I love food. I love eating, trying different dishes in different countries and everything. And I just wonder how you balance it. And it seems like you do a pretty good job of it. You have a family. Did you always feel like that was part of your journey?
Good question. I didn't think about it, but I always...
Like at all?
Not really.
Okay.
Like, but, I've known my wife since we were 17 years old. We didn't get married at 17 or anything like that, but I've known her a very long time. And I just like... I always wanted a family. I always wanted someone to share this with. And do you have kids?
No. That's why I ask. I ask curiously. It's kind of a funny, become kind of a meme of me being this like unk, grow up, settle down, start a family. And I, for various reasons, haven't done it. I've got some disconnects there in the relationship world and spent a lot of my life not developing those tactics. And that's why I ask if it was something that was like kind of always in your recipe.
It wasn't, but I always knew I wanted to have a family. And whether you're the unk or the dad or whatever, now things that are mundane to me, like catching another fish in Santa Barbara where I live, catching another white sea bass or a yellowtail, which I've done 1,000 times. Could I go and do it? Yes. I get this tiny little dopamine hit from it. Like, it's fun. Yeah, cool. I caught a fish, whatever. I take my 5-year-old, it's like I'm seeing it for the first time again. And that part, and even as an older cousin, not an uncle, but I had that same feeling then too. And I think it's the same feeling that I get when I'm communicating conservation and wildlife to like people on social media and stuff. That's like, I could catch that fish 1,000 times if I see those smiles, if that makes sense.
100%.
Yeah.
People have told me about that so much, and I certainly like understand the sentiment of being able to relive life again for the first time. And you know, like you see a kid. It's funny. They liken watching someone on a lot of psychoactives like psilocybin and mushrooms and acid and stuff like that is like watching a kid go through the mall for the first time.
Yeah.
And they, you know, they're holding their parents' hand and they're just looking around with wide eyes and everything is just so incredible. And the idea of being able to relive such mundane things and find that joy in it again is definitely attractive to me. I just like, for me, I guess I've just been kind of waiting for life to slow down and it hasn't.
And so what? Do you know what I mean? Like life is for enjoying no matter what facet of it you're in. And I've seen that whether it's in that remote island in Vanuatu or in the poorest nations in Africa or Asia or South America, whatever, just embrace life. Don't be upset about stuff you don't have or places you haven't been or things you haven't been. If you can just have that sort of childhood sense of wonder, and this is getting very ethereal now, but it just makes everything better. And maybe I'm like constantly drugged up and don't even realize it, but like, I get so excited just to do new things and see new things and be with new people and then get to share that with little ones or people that love conservation. It's just like, it's fun. Just enjoy life. Who cares?
But you definitely like found your thing, right? And I definitely like understand the opposing side or the people that haven't found their thing and it's stressful and they want to.
Yeah.
What would you say like as like a piece of advice to people watching this that like may be in their 30s or 40s and may have lost some of that curiosity or lust for life? Like how would you push people to try to reinvigorate that?
I would say that you just have to try new things. And for me, those new things always come in the form of being outdoors, but maybe they're food, maybe they're travel, maybe they're a video game. It doesn't really matter. But I think what happens is as we get older, we get scared to try new things because it's different, it's hard, it's a lot of effort to go to a new place, to try something different. I want to go to the same restaurant, I want to do the same thing I do every day. But then some of those new things are not going to be for you and they might suck. But every once in a while, fucking paddleball comes out, or what, you know what I mean? Everybody's into fucking paddle now. It's great. If that's your thing, that's your thing, but you have to try it to figure that out. And I think people get scared to try new stuff.
Yeah, I certainly feel like that sometimes. I'm getting the wrap up from a producer, even though the co-owner of the show had asked us to continue going. You got somewhere to go? Do you have somewhere to go? I don't see anyone from the venue here, Dylan. Maybe you have some questions for our
Am I boring you, Dylan? Is that what's happening?
Why don't you take a fucking seat?
So impressed with how well you speak.
Oh yeah, you are incredible. And honestly, yes. we could do, you know, hours with you. And I know Logan's super into the animal stuff. But we'll do it again. And I appreciate you coming through. Do you have anything you want to shout out? Any conservation people, what's your Instagram, all that stuff? Like,
sure. Yeah. I mean, not really. I have everything. I have all the social media channels. Just started doing YouTube. YouTube is starting to become a big enough thing for me that I get to focus on it wholeheartedly. So if people want to check that out and follow that, that really helps me. But just fall in love with wildlife. That's all I care about.
I love that. All right. Since we're being forced to shut down, Forrest Galante, ladies and gentlemen, go follow him. Go subscribe to his YouTube, watch his videos, like him, drop comments in the comment section, and go pet a dog, or if you're in a certain place, a seal. And we'll see you on next week's episode. Thanks so much for watching, listening, viewing, subscribing to Impulsive. Shout out Fanatics WWE. We'll see you next week. Peace.